I know that many of us don't like the word launching, and trust me, I've talked to enough introverts and highly sensitive people over the years to know that even the word can feel a bit scary, let alone the thought of organizing, planning, and putting together a launch, actually putting it out into the world and everything that comes with that. So I wanted to share with you 3 things that have really helped me over the years to feel more comfortable with launching the word and the actual doing it as well. First up, I understand that launching can feel scary because it requires a lot of visibility, facing rejection, and a lot of time and energy without the full knowledge that it's going to lead to the results that you want on the other side, and also not mean that you feel burnt out, overwhelmed, and just exhausted afterwards. Do you want to know how I know this? Because this is something that I have struggled with in the past. And even now, every single time I put something new out into the world, I have that moment of panic about whether somebody will buy it, will anyone join, any of those things. And so if you've been around here for a while, you will know that I have lots of things going out all of the time. And so, yes, I am very familiar with that feeling. But what I've learned over the years is that I allow myself to feel that for a moment, and then I hit send anyway, because I know that if I stayed in that place of feeling scared or worried or thinking about all of the terrible things that might happen, I would never actually put anything out into the world or ever feel good about launching anything. So even the small little things that I put out, they're building up the muscle to then being able to do bigger launches as well. And what I've learnt is that fear is a really good way to gently explore what's going on here, what is this about, and then start to find strategies and systems and ways that you can kind of expand into that. What is the fear here for me? Is it the visibility? Is it the energy management after years and years of going through that burnout cycle, or being in environments where your energy and your needs have not been accommodated for? And so that is just a fear that is part of your nervous system. Is it the fear of rejection? Is it the tech that you're afraid of and putting everything together? Being really real with what it is that is really going on underneath the surface that you're associating with the idea of launching. And that is kind of the starting point for getting not comfortable as much, but just being really aware of the underlying theme. In my experience, and I talk about this all the time, whenever my nervous system is highly activated around something, I feel like it's often because it doesn't know that I'm aware of what's going on. And as soon as we put words to that fear, we address it head on, we acknowledge it and start to create a plan or start to do something that allows us to even just witness and recognize it and feel the feelings, that is when the nervous system often calms down as well. The more that we do it, the more we're going to get comfortable with the process. It becomes like muscle memory. And then that allows us to be more creative, to try new things and be a little bit more adventurous. But while we're feeling that resistance to sharing and putting anything out and launching and even saying the word launch, it is stopping us from being able to do that. The second thing that I always think about when it comes to launching is that it first and foremost is a mindset. So if we think it's going to suck or be exhausting, be a lot of work for no results based on what we've seen or heard others do and what we maybe associate with launching, then of course it will be. We're going to look for all the reasons why that would be true. And our brain and nervous system, again, is just going to naturally do that. But essentially, launching is just putting something into the world. It is, creating something and sort of saying, here it is. And so the way that we do that and the strategies that we follow, the systems that we have in place, the scale of which that launch takes place is really, at the end of the day, entirely up to us. There are obviously a lot of people out there teaching their methods for success to have a 6 or 7 figure launch. And of course, that is going to require a huge amount of energy and a much bigger audience than many of us want or have. And so why would we choose that? Why would we want it to be hard or long or exhausting or take so much out of us when we're the ones that get to decide the kind of business that we have? So the best way that I have found to move through this is to stop listening to or watching or learning from people who are running their business or launching in a way that doesn't feel good to me, whether that is in the kind of tactics and strategies that they're implementing, or just in the scale and the way that they are running a launch, that when I look at it, I think, oh my gosh, I would never want to do that, or no, that doesn't feel like the kind of thing that I want to do, or I'll test it out if I'm curious and then very quickly move on to another idea. That has really helped me to shut out a lot of the noise, because everybody is teaching what has worked for them, and that doesn't always mean that it's going to work for us. And so my best thing that I have learned to do is shut out the noise, look to learn from people who are doing things the way that I resonate with, the way that I enjoy being a consumer or customer or client of certain people, and then being able to implement and take little pieces that I learn from that and create a plan that works really well for me. And that is the even better option, that we get really familiar with our own needs and strengths and goals, so that we are then implementing strategies and systems that are actually going to support what we need. That instead of fitting ourselves into a box of like, this is how a coach should launch, this is how a high ticket program should be launched, we are actually going, what do I want and need? How does my energy work best? What are my strengths in terms of I don't like doing video, or I'm much better in person? And then finding or creating the systems and strategies that are going to support that. What we have learnt to do because of the way that the school systems work, and then we kind of transfer that to the workplace and then bring that over to our businesses, is this is the way it has to be done, and I have to bend and mold myself to align with that, to fit into that box. And what I am hoping that I can share with you is that that is so counterintuitive to most people. And it also leads to us creating businesses that feel overwhelming, that do burn us out, and that maybe we don't enjoy showing up for on a regular basis. So by understanding what you need and what your strengths are, you can then create a plan for yourself that fits in with all of that, that allows you to shine and showcase your best skills, and then creates that invitation at the end for people who want to take the next step with you. And when I think about launching like that, instead of, oh, well, it's going to be a month of launching and daily lives and all of these things, and, $100,000 advertising budget, which anyone who's had a 6-figure launch has probably spent that much on advertising. So things that we also don't always get all of the information and need to keep in mind. And that also allows us, when we're creating our own plan, when we're trying things that we want to do, when we're playing to our own strengths, to test it, try it out, learn something and say, oh, maybe I will add that into my next launch. Do it. And then review it and go, how did I feel about that? Not just like, how much money did I make? How much did my list grow by? But actually thinking about things like, how did I feel during that? What were my strengths and what were my challenges when I tried that launch strategy or that idea? What would I do differently next time? What am I never going to do again because that was terrible? And every time we then go and do it again, we're adding more, we're stacking on more information, and we're tweaking and evolving it each time. Which brings me to my third point. Every time you launch, you learn. So if you hear the word launch and your whole system shuts down, then perhaps it's just a chance to think about a different way of thinking about it or change the wording that you use, but really thinking about it from a place of curiosity. This is not about you have one shot at this, and if you get it wrong, that is the end of the world. This is every single time you put something out into the world, whether it's sending an email, it's posting something on social media, or it's sharing a new offer, you get the opportunity to learn something that will make it better next time. It's the same as if you were going to the gym and doing weights. The first few times that you do it, you're not going to notice results. But what it is the culmination of doing it over and over again, that in 6 months you look back and you can see the changes. But so often what we do is we go, we lift a few weights and we go, oh, it's still the same. I still don't fit into that dress, or I still feel a certain way. And then it all kind of stops. And so a business needs to be like that as well. Every time we do it, we learn more. It is going to be nerve-wracking and scary. It does require some energy, which is why I talk about the seasons of visibility, because you can't be in launch mode all the time. It is exhausting. It would be like being in summer all the time. And whilst I know a lot of people really like summer, you would get so sick of 12 months of just hot heat all of the time. And so thinking about it from a place of, well, I don't need to do it over and over again. I don't need to keep reinventing the wheel every time I have a new offer. You take your plan that you are slowly evolving and tweaking and redoing over and over again, and you then apply it to your next offer. You apply all of the information that you've gathered, everything that you've learned each time you put something new out or launch something, and then you tweak it and evolve it for the next thing. And slowly, a little bit by little, you see different results. You feel more confident. You get used to things and get faster at putting things together because it's already mostly built, and all you need to do is to maybe change some dates or change a topic and some copy. So the point is to have a flow and a plan for how and when you're going to be doing your launches. And you're not thinking about like, oh, I need to launch 6 times this year to hit my income goals. It's I'm going to focus on the next one in front of me. And I'm thinking this time I'm going to try this. Or if you have never done anything like that before, what might that look like for you the first time? If you're offering a one-on-one service, such as a coaching package or a done for you package, it is not going to be on the same scale as if you were creating a course or a program and you needed 100 people to sign up for it. Most of the time, you're looking for maybe 2 to 5 people to sign up for your one-on-one, which means that your plan for how you're going to invite people in is going to look very, very different to a group program, to a course, or even to a digital offer launch, because the scale is different, the price point is different, and the number of people that you need to reach is going to be different in order to hit your goals. And so it's thinking about all of these things, and there's so much that I can talk about. It's such a massive conversation. But most importantly, when you adopt the launch and learn mindset, every setback, every challenge, everything that doesn't necessarily go wrong or makes you maybe feel a certain way is an opportunity to go, what will I do differently next time? What am I never going to do again? And learning more about yourself so that you can find the strategies and systems that are going to best support you. If you think, yeah, I can do a week of lives, I'm going to give it a go. You get to your review stage and you go, oh my gosh, I am so tired. I need to now take 2 weeks off. You probably know that next time you're going to do it differently. You're going to do less days. You're maybe going to pre-record it and do that over a series of weeks and drip it out as a video series, or not as live content, and then maybe just do one Q&A at the end. It allows you to be creative with how you're going to do it. And sometimes we best learn from when things don't go the way that we had planned. So there are a few things that have really helped me over the years. I hope that that is helpful for you as well. I'm just going to share in case you haven't seen it, because oh my goodness, Facebook groups are doing my head in, and I just cannot with how bad the reach is. So if you haven't had a chance to check this out, if you're watching this on the replay and it is past July now, it is going to be that the Gentle Launch Lab is 5 workshops. We are running it live, and you're going to get an opportunity to get custom support. You're going to be able to ask questions and brainstorm. I have so many different strategies in my head because it is one of my hyper fixations, and I will just learn as many different ones as possible and have different ideas. And I will be here to support you to create a system and a plan that's going to suit you, even if it looks different from what everybody else is doing. And that is something that we're going to be doing live throughout August and July. And that, if you are watching this later than that, you will be able to purchase the replays and get access to all of the resources and everything as well. But if you can make it live, I promise you it's going to be an amazing experience. It's done this before. It's in a smaller scale and it's such a potent container, but it's really, really an opportunity for you to be able to get support that you may not have seen previously in this space of launching, because there are certain strategies that have become very mainstream and kind of the trend. You know, we used to always do webinars, and then it was challenges, and it's different constantly, and they're not always necessarily going to work for us. So this is an opportunity to come in live. You're getting a huge introductory kind of beta testing bonus price or special price at $97. If you're in Emerge and Expand, you're obviously getting VIP kind of invitation to join us as well, because this is a little part of the Emerge and Expand framework. And these, I just wanted to go through it really quickly with you, are the live workshops. So I've actually put, it's 4 weeks and there's 4 workshops, but there's actually 5 workshops and it is about 4.5 weeks. So we are doing the Planning Your Launch Intensive, which is going to be, someone asked via email this week, you know, do I need to be super active on social media? Do I need to do things a certain way? And the reality is that I'm not going to say this is the plan. The whole point of this first workshop is to actually think about what you already have. What is your offer? What are your dates, and how long do you want it to be, you know, before you actually put this out into the world? How many people do you need? Because all of those things are going to determine what your launch needs to look like, how long you need to have in the lead up, how many people you need to get in front of, all of these things. Then we're going to look into pre-launch content. So this is, again, building a runway for your people, so that especially if it is a higher priced program, you're not necessarily going to do this with a low ticket offer. But if you are creating something that is kind of over $100, you want to have a bit of pre-launch. You want to talk to people, you want to nurture them, you want to let them know something is coming, so that you don't just kind of drop it on them and say, oh, you've got a few days to make a decision. And so again, that's going to come down to the offer. I'm running this anyway. And so not only are the Emerge and Expand members coming along, there are a few other people who have already got access to this. And so I wanted to make this invitation kind of open it up more to you all as well. And so that is going to look different than something that is a $1,500 program, for example. Then we're going to have the launch activity workshop, which is essentially just how can I showcase my skills with a bunch of people who might be interested in joining my offer, and I give them an example or an idea of what they can expect when they join me in here. And so we're going to talk about that again based on your skills, based on what it is that you're actually doing. And you'll see, even with this, I'm including co-working sessions, I'm including resources and Q&A time. And that is because in Emerge and Expand, that is exactly what we do in there as well. And so that is going to mean if you join us for the month, there will be an invitation to join Emerge and Expand at the new annual offer, but at the old price. And if you spend the month with me, you're going to get a really, really good idea of if this is the way that you want to do your business for the next 12 months, if me and the community are who you want to spend your time with. And so whether you decide that is right for you or not has very little to do with me other than just showing up the way that I do, and very much more about you deciding if that's the right thing for you. So I'm going to be showing you as it's happening. And then we're going to talk about your follow-up, because again, a lot of people go, oh, it's the first day my cart is open or my offer is out there and nobody signed up. Oh, I'm the worst. Oh, I'm a failure. And then stop completely. And it is the follow-up that is where most of your results are going to come from. And so it's really, really important that we focus on this. And then week 5 is a bonus week where we're creating an emergency plan. So essentially, instead of worrying and then not taking action, which I know many of us can do, we are going to create a plan. We're going to think of what all the things that could happen that are holding us back from doing it and putting it out there. And we're going to create a plan for what if this happens, so that you and your nervous system feel really good that no matter what happens, you've either got a plan or you've got an idea in mind for what you can do, or you're already in that mindset, that open-minded place of, I can solve this problem. I can come up with another idea. I can launch and learn from this. And so that is going to be kind of a little bonus right at the end in the middle of August. And then there is a little pre-work workshop for you as well to make sure you're really clear on what your offer is going to be and your messaging, so that we can dive right in and get started with that as well. So we're going to basically be spending 5 weeks together at what not recently, but when I first launched this a couple of years ago, this was a $1,500 offer. So I just want you to know you're getting so much value at a really accessible and affordable amount. If you don't join us now, that is fine. Like I said, you will be able to join in the future. It will just be at a different price point, because this is figuring it out. I'm going to be building this with you and getting a lot of your feedback and information as well. But this is also where you're going to get a lot of kind of custom support that you may not get as much in the future as well. When this is a self-study program, you'll still obviously be able to come into the common room and things as well. So I just wanted to kind of go through that, because I know, like I said, I've had a few questions and a few people kind of panicking about the thought of launching because they don't like it, or because they don't know what their offer is going to be yet, or because obviously the idea of launching can feel like this big, month-long event and a lot of energy, and that's just not necessarily going to be what you need if you're offering just one-on-one right now, or if you're focusing on low ticket digital offers. That is going to look very different. So I'm going to be covering probably those 3, depending on what it is that you're going to be doing, and then give you an idea of what the scope of that might be, the scale of it, how many people you need to get in front of, what that lead up to launch might look like. And that's going to help you to also be able to manage your energy, create a plan that isn't rushed and isn't overwhelming, and then get support along the way to play to your own strengths instead of just following somebody else's plan. So yeah, I wanted to just kind of give a bit of an idea of that, but also talk a little bit more about how we can reframe our mindset around launching. So I hope that you find that helpful as well. If anyone has any questions, please let me know. Yeah,